All right, today we're diving into something really cool, a totally new way to look at the human psyche. We're going to use this ancient symbol, the Ouroboros, to map out the incredible journey of self-realization. I mean, have you ever felt that? Like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel, battling these same old patterns again and again? We've all been there. But what if I told you that feeling, that exact loop, is actually the key to unlocking how your mind really works? So, this theory pictures your psyche as this complete, self-contained universe. Think about that serpent eating its own tail. Every single part is connected. A forgotten memory, a weird dream, a choice you made this morning, it all sends ripples through the entire system, constantly shaping who you are from the inside out. It's an infinite loop.
So here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with the psyche's infinite loop. Then we'll look at the individual parts of the self, kind of like the scales on the serpent. We'll trace the spiral of how we develop, uncover the engine of conflict that actually fuels our growth. And then, at the end, I'll give you a map to help navigate your own path to wholeness.
Okay, let's jump right into part one. This is the foundational idea, right? That your mind is this complete, self-contained system. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means that in your inner world, nothing is ever wasted. Every single thought, every feeling, every impulse, it's like a boomerang. It creates this chain reaction inside you. Your mind isn't just some random collection of parts. It's this incredibly dynamic loop, always feeding back on itself and shaping you from within. All right, so if the whole psyche is the serpent, then what about its individual scales? Let's zoom in a bit and deconstruct the key archetypes that make up your unique personality. First up, the ego. You know this one well. It's the captain of your conscious ship, right? It's that voice in your head, that sense of I that navigates your day-to-day life. And its main job, especially in the first half of life, is to build a solid, distinct identity for you. Next, we've got the persona. This is the social mask you wear. It's the you at work, the you with your friends, the you post online. And look, it's a super necessary tool for getting by in the world. But here's the catch. The danger is when you start to believe the mask is your real face. When that happens, that helpful bridge, well, it turns into a prison. And then there's the shadow. Now, a lot of people think this is the evil part of you, but that's not it at all. A better way to think of it is like a thermostat for your psyche. It holds all the bits and pieces of yourself that you've kind of pushed away or suppressed. And its real job? It's to provide balance to the ego. Bringing the shadow into the light is absolutely crucial for becoming resilient and whole. So check this out. Here's how they all work together in this system. You've got the ego, which is all about establishing your identity. You've got the persona, which helps you relate to the outside world. And then the shadow, the adaptive part, keeps you in balance. But see how they're all working in service of something bigger? The self. That's the unified whole that emerges from this constant dance between all the other parts. Okay, so we've met the key players, but how do they all develop over time? Well, this journey of individuation, of becoming who you are, it's definitely not a straight line. It's way more like a spiral, and it changes dramatically over the course of your life. And this chart just nails the two major phases of life. Think about it, right? The first half of our life is often this stable cycle. We're busy building our ego, fitting in, and adapting to society's rules. But then, the second half can become this transformative spiral. It's less about control and fitting in, and way more about finding a deeper personal meaning. And that often means these chaotic, disruptive, but totally necessary leaps of growth. So here's the really crucial takeaway. That feeling of being stuck, that neurosis, it's not a sign that you're failing, not at all. It's actually a signal from deep inside your psyche that the old loop, the old way of being, has run its course. It's a call to action, a sign that it's time to evolve and begin the next, more transformative spiral of your journey. So what is it that actually drives this spiral forward? What powers these massive, transformative leaps? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The engine behind all psychological growth is, surprisingly, conflict. I just love this quote. Creative friction, the alchemical forge. It's such a powerful idea, right? That tension between the different parts of you, your conscious goals clashing with your unconscious desires, that's not something you should try to avoid. It's the very friction that forges something totally new and whole inside you. It's the fire. And this really lays out the central battle happening inside all of us. On one side, you have your ego. It wants to stay in control, to expand its little kingdom. But on the other side, you have the self, the total you, and it's pushing for wholeness, for a bigger, more integrated truth. This clash, this is the engine that drives your progress. Let that sink in for a second. The internal conflict, the friction you feel, it is not a bug in your system. It's the feature. It's the system working exactly as it's designed to. It's the very thing that forces you to break down the old structures of who you thought you were so you can build something stronger, truer, and more whole. Okay, let's bring all this theory back down to earth. Now that we understand the dynamics, let's look at a practical map you can actually use to navigate this whole journey of individuation. So here's how we can turn this big, abstract idea into a real, actionable process. Step 1, you identify the whole system. You define your psyche as it is right now. Then you map out the different parts and where the tensions are. Step 3, you analyze your situation through these pillars of unity, balance, and paradox to really understand the friction. And finally, you execute. You take action based on that analysis, which kicks off a brand new loop of growth and learning. And this pyramid, this is really the ultimate map of that entire journey. It lays out the whole path, level by level. See, we start down at level 0, with that raw, undifferentiated potential we have at birth. Then we move up through integrating all our inner parts, hitting that crucial creative breakthrough at level 6, and ultimately we're aiming for the peak, level 9, a fully realized, singular, and yet universal self. And to leave you with one final thought, this whole process, this journey of self-realization, it's really about mapping our own complex inner worlds. So what if, just what if, modern technology, something like AI, could act as a partner in this? Could it help us read that map, amplify our own intuition, and maybe even accelerate this profoundly human journey of becoming whole? It's something to think about, for sure.